What's up, guys? This is Kephas. Welcome back to WoW Leveling, everyone. If you're still having fun out here in Storm Song Valley, this area could get a little bit crazy because I see elite enemies all over the place and I just don't want to die. But yeah, we're going to keep on going until we hit 120. We are 112, actually well over halfway through. We're leveling up pretty quickly. And honestly, I've had a lot of fun. These past few episodes, ever since we hit this area, have been a lot of fun. I feel like, you know, I like doing these, and I'll always probably do some sort of leveling on this channel. I mean, WoW leveling for sure, because like, you know, people like that kind of thing, and I like it because I just get to talk about stuff, and I kind of like, you know, I don't know how people feel about it. You know, I'd love to know in the comments below. Like, some people don't like to talk about things other people do. I think it's fun to drum up discussion about this different topics. So like, I hope that you guys have enjoyed the past few episodes. I hope that I've, you know, articulated myself well, you know, in terms of just like what I'm getting my points across, that kind of thing. And I hope that always, no matter what we talk about, I'm not out to offend anybody with different takes that I might have on different, you know, topics, especially when I mean, we're always talking about video games here and just media in general. Like, it's not going to get anywhere deeper than that. Sometimes it might, you know, invoke a certain, you know, external, you know, context, I guess, in terms of like the world and like things that are happening these days. But, you know, like, ultimately it's just about like games and, you know, that kind of stuff. So like, again, like, I hope I hope that people can, you know, relate. I hope that people can feel like you can share your opinion respectfully, of course, and we can have good, you know, good discussions. But like today, like, I've been thinking a lot about, like, you know, Blizzard, you know, as a company. You know, lately, just a lot of, I mean, well, at the time of recording this, it's going to be a little bit of an old news topic by the time this probably comes out, but like, just a lot of the negativity, that continues to grow and fester, with Blizzard, you know, the company, how they treat their employees, that kind of stuff. Some people may not care about it. I mean, I have very mixed feelings about it. You know, like, it's definitely a hard, like, part of me is like, you know, it's up to, like, when you hear about like how employees are being treated or paid or whatever, you know, it's like, I feel a lot of sympathy for people that, like, you know, that work at Blizzard and how they're treated. I also feel like it's their responsibility to deal with that however they see fit. You know, it's one of those things where, like, I don't know how like the hiring process goes. I think that, like, when you hear like some people are being paid very poorly in an area where the cost of living is really high, that kind of stuff, like, you know, and you've heard about like people being fired, and these guys are just respawning like crazy. People being fired and then new people being hired in later. But I think like I don't support that practice at all. I don't support how Blizzard does a lot of things as a company. I don't at all. But I don't feel like it's my responsibility to fight that battle. I know that might sound harsh, but like, I don't I don't agree with it. I can express my distaste for it. Is it going to cause me to unsub from the game? Probably not. It's just going to mean that I'm personally never going to work for Blizzard ever. Would never if you paid me. You know, they're just like, you know, that's the thing about it that I try to understand is, like, you know, if you go into a job and they tell you, you know, you're going to be paid X amount of dollars and you feel like that's not enough, like, why do you take the job then? Like, that's one of the things that I would say, like, why do people work for the company? Because, like, a lot of times you hear about, like, this, it's a weird mentality that people have. People think that, like, oh, it's because Blizzard is so prestigious and they're this great company and all this, like people, I think a lot of times this is a problem that maybe people have with the company. This is, people still to this day think that Blizzard is the same company that they were back in like 1998 or whatever, like way back when, and like, they're not. Just they're not, and they're far from that. And you could even argue, were they that to begin with? I don't even know if they were that to begin with personally, but a lot of the people that made Blizzard what it was aren't there even there anymore. It's a different company now. Like, different people are in charge. You know, but like overall, it's unfortunate, but that just seems to be the case. You know, like I don't like the way that Blizzard treats their games. I don't like the way they treat their employees anymore. It makes it very hard to get excited about them at all. But like, I think that it's what it is it's a byproduct of the sort of, I don't want to, I guess it's like a bit of a stretch to say this, but almost like a cult-like atmosphere at times. Like the worship of the company, like being this amazing autonomous, shoot, this is gonna be bad. This amazing, like perfect, like pure, wonderful company that could do no wrong, and then you realize actually, you know, they're not quite what people think they are. But why would anybody ever think that? They're just a company that, you know, wants to make money. Of course, that's what they do, and sometimes they do it in questionable ways, and you know, but like at the end of the day, for me, Blizzard was always the company that made games that I like. You know, they just, hi there, I want to feign death. I really want to feign death. Hey, can I please feign death? Okay, or I'll just actually death. Cool. I was afraid that was going to happen. Okay, we're right by the body anyways. But you know, like, people always, you know, like, I talked about a couple episodes ago how WoW for me for a while was more than a game. You know, like, it was more than a game. It was so much more than that. It gave me a lot of, you know, opportunities to make friends and that kind of stuff. I feel that way. Like, I respect the game for that. But I never thought Blizzard was ever more than just the company that made the game. They're a business, and I never saw them as more than that. A lot of people did, I guess. A lot of people saw Blizzard the company, or see Blizzard the company, the way I saw the game World of Warcraft. And I think that's always a problem. You know, like, I've said this so many times. I'm a fan of video games. I'm not a fan of any video game company. That applies to Nintendo, that applies to Blizzard, that applies to Square Enix. I'm not a fan of the company. Now, I might be a fan of some developers, you know, but like even CD, like I like the way CD Projekt Red seems to conduct their business, but you'll never see me be their fan. I'm a fan of their games. I will always support their games because I love their games. The way they do business, if it affects me, then I'll stop supporting their games. If I'm an employee and I feel like the way the company treats its employees is bad, I'm not gonna work for the company. Simple as that. Now, again, it may be more complicated than that. I don't know what they're told. I don't know, like, if you go there and apply for a job, I don't know what, maybe they're led to believe something that ends up not being the case. If that's the case, then yeah, that's a problem. And again, but for future people, for future employees, this is the thing. You know, this company has this reputation. If you know that, then perhaps the smart move would be to not, like, work for that company. That I would apply that logic to any job. I mean, you know, there have been jobs that, like, for example, my wife goes to graphic school, becomes a graphic designer, you know, would apply for jobs. There were a couple opportunities that would pop up for a company that has very, very bad reputation, and, you know, yeah, I'm not going to work on that company. I wouldn't work on that company if it was the only job that was out there. I'll do something. I'd rather go not use my degree and go work at freaking McDonald's. You know, like, there are companies that are like that. In the gaming industry, I would argue that Blizzard might be becoming one of those companies. You might be better off going and getting a job at McDonald's. Like, you might even get a better living wage if you do. Like, and that's, you know, I'm being obviously, like, maybe not McDonald's, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it's a joke. But, like, I don't like to hear about the way people are treated. But I think that, like, at some degree, it's like, do what you need to do. Like, don't work for them then. You know, like, that would be my advice. Like, well, then don't move to Anaheim or wherever it is and put yourself in that situation and be screwed. I wouldn't do that. I would never do that. I don't know why people do, but there's a reason why, and it seems like the reason why is because people want to work it. They think they want to work there. Like, people lie, like, they tell themselves things that about the company. Like, this is Blizzard, though. It'll be like, I get to work for the dream company, and they've bought into this, frankly, a lie. And then they find out that what they thought is not the case, and that's unfortunate. But that's why I say you should never, like, don't idolize a game company. Don't do that. That's a mistake. That will always be a mistake, because you see now more than ever, every single time it happens, whether it's Bungie or Microsoft or Blizzard or whoever, people will, you know, they'll idolize these companies. Sorry, I'm looking for like one more door or something. People will idolize these game companies thinking that they're this like altruistic, you know, company, and they're not. They're just trying to make money. They're just trying to please shareholders, and that's never going to change. And that's just the nature of it. And people get mad, and like I've seen people like, oh my god, the things I've seen people say is like, well, it's not Blizzard's fault, it's the system's fault. It's like, no, it's not. The system, like, it's not at all. There are plenty of people that operate within the system that don't do those things. It's the way the company is run. Okay, you can like, that's, people are that devoted to Blizzard, and it's like, gosh, man, like, people need to get a clue. It amazes me that people, you know, are that devoted to the company. Like, you know, like for me, like, here's the thing. I love World of Warcraft. I love Overwatch. I might sometimes criticize these things, but I do it because I love them. I don't love Blizzard, and I never will. That'll never happen. I don't know why people do. I think people need to get a clue. You know, it's sad, but it's just the case. And it's like, you know, as long as something is giving you value, then, you know, if it's worth your time and money, invest in it. If it's not, then don't. It's as simple as that. But don't buy into this idea that, like, you know, I like people working for Blizzard, like, I'll work for Blizzard and get paid scraps and get game time for free. Like, you know, like, I'll get free game time. Like, what Kool-Aid are you drinking, man? You know, like, but that's what it is. It's like people are drinking Kool-Aid. Like, people that I used to like listen to that always defend Blizzard, they always talk about how, you know, they have they have these strong values. There's a very family environment there, and then you realize, like, no, dude, you're just smoking the crack. Like, you're just drinking the Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? Like, get a clue, bro. You know, like, that's not, like, that's just like what they want you to think, so that they can do whatever they want to do. Like, you're buying into nonsense. You know, and like, so, like, again, like, you know, we're talking about stuff on here, and I'm always down for, you know, what you guys think. I don't think it's like, I think sometimes, you know, people will, like, overly, you know, they'll be like, Blizzard, they're evil, and oh, it's like, nah, dude, like, it's, you just calm down. It's like, they're being a company, they're not the best by any means. You know, but like, just like, if you don't like, decide for yourself if they're worth, like, if you don't like them really bad, then obviously you can decide if, do you hate them enough that you don't want to play their games anymore? So that's fine, do your thing. But like, at the very least, you know, don't, a lot of times the problem is like, people look at them as more than what they are, which is like a company that makes video games, right? Like, that's what they do. So, you know, if you look at it more as being more than that, then you're going to set yourself up for disappointment, and that's kind of like the idea. What are we doing here, dude? Are we moving along? But like, if you know, if you look at them from the start, like, yeah, they're a game company, you know, just keep an eye out. Like, they see how they do things. They might, you know, they might do questionable things. Oh, it's no surprise. Yeah, don't support that. That's scummy. That kind of thing. It's like, it's not a huge deal. And then people that are like working there or might want to work there can say, maybe I shouldn't work there. Maybe I should go work for someone that'll value me more and treat me better. Because like, there are, like I said, like right now, if I think of companies that I'm like, yeah, they're doing some good stuff. Like Nintendo, sometimes questionable, honestly. Like at first, when they first released the Switch, I'm like, yeah, dude, they're on it. Right now, I'm not so sure. They're doing whatever. They're not doing anything too bad. But you know, I'm not like, oh god, Nintendo's can do no wrong. Of course they can. They're a company. You never know. Like you know, I don't trust them. I never will. Right now, Microsoft seems to be doing good stuff. Like they seem to be doing some very consumer-friendly things. You know, and I'm going to acknowledge that and say that's good. Please continue. That makes me feel good to know that I can trust you and you're going to like maybe try to treat me right. I know ultimately you're trying to be a successful company and you'll always do what's best, what you think is best for you. So I know that could change it on the dime. You know what I mean? So like, it's not like I'm now all of a sudden going to start like being loyal to Microsoft. Like it's never going to happen. But I'm always going to be grateful, or at least you know respectful to a company that respects me, I guess is the best way to put it. You know, so like, but then like in another one like CD Projekt Red, they seem to be doing good. Like they seem to be doing pretty well right now. Like just how they handle their business. Like You know, I respect them for the different things that they do, the different practices that they have. Could that change? Absolutely. Of course it could. So, like, I'm not, like worshiping them or loyal to them or part of the CD Projekt Red family, which obviously is not a thing, but, like, thank God. Like, with Blizzard was a very unique company in that, like, they had this weird, like, it runs deep, you know what I mean? Like, whether it's the fans or content creators or, you know, people that work there, they buy into some ideology of Blizzard, you know, about Blizzard, like, that's very bizarre. And it's obviously, you know, it's not worked in their favor, and it's led to a lot of people being very disappointed because, you know, at the end of the day, you realize that this amazing entity that you thought was altruistic and perfect and whatnot turns out that they're just like any other company. They're trying to make money, and sometimes they do questionable things, and it's not good. But that's, you know, but at least if you go into it like from the start, like knowing that, and not being ridiculous, you know, and buying into nonsense, then you won't be setting yourself up for disappointment. What exactly am I supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to stand here? Oh, I have an item to click on. Sorry. You know, and so like honestly, that's what I'm getting. And it's not even like that I'm not being pessimistic, right? Like it's like just being realistic. Realistic is what it is. Like, look, you know, it's ridiculous to ever think that this, like, that a company is anything more than what it is. And that's, if you see it for what it is, then it's like, you know, you can, you know, individuals in the company might have some values that are good, but, you know, like the company as a whole, like, it's always blown my mind, you know, like, always, like, what, like, the way people will put up that Blizzard banner, like, defend them, like, White Knight for them so hard. It's like, why? What do you get out of that? Like, you're not going to get anything out of that except for an unreturned level of devotion. Like, it's, you know, and that includes the people that work there, you know, and it's like, it's crazy when you hear about, like, wow, they get away with that? They get away with treating you that way? Why? Why do you think it's like, why do you work? What are you doing? You know, like, that, as a content creator, it's one of those things, like, I know a lot of content creators that, you know, they'll never say anything negative. And the reason why is because they don't want to mess up their endorsement or their opportunity to work for them. And I'm not saying that you should be like, oh my god, you know, like, well, actually in this case I might be, because like the things that they do is like it's unreasonably acceptable. It's like it's unacceptable. It's like, dude, the way that you treat your employees is horrible, right? What are you doing? It's been that way for a long time now. Like, I've known people that got fired or got laid off from there just because they had to make cuts, and then they turned around and hired new people. It's like, that's crappy, man. That's shady, you know. But that's what they do. That's not new. So when you hear about, like, you know, they're not paying people very well, no shocker, man. You know, I would consider finding something else, you know. And my friend found something else. Like, yeah, forget that. Would never go back there unless they paid me really well, and I wouldn't even plan to be there forever. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm no problem denouncing that kind of stuff. Like, that's not cool. But there are people that, like, will always defend them no matter what they do, you know, because they don't want to lose that endorsement or the potential for, you know, opportunities or free stuff or swag or God knows what else. And it's like, dude, get out of here. Like, you know, from the very beginning, like, one of the first, like, early on in my YouTube career, I've never been afraid to be like, look, you know, this is what's wrong with this game. You know what I mean? Or this thing that they did, the way they treated Nostalrius, not cool. You know, the way they designed Warlords, crappy. You know what I mean? And it's not like I'm trying to be the center, like, you know, like, oh, you know, hate everything they do. No, I'll praise Legion when it's good. You know what I mean? Because that's what concerns me. At the end of the day, I don't give a crap about the company. I care less. I just want the games to exist, and I want them to be good. That's what I care about. I'm out. You know, I'm in that for me as a consumer, right? And I expect people that work there to be able to decide for themselves if it's worth working there or not. If it's not, then quit. Go find something else to work. Go, you know what I mean? Like, that's your, or stay and continue being treated poorly. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll say, like, I don't think that's cool. I would never work there personally. That's how I want to say that. It's like, you know, you'll find people that will always like act like lawyers for them because they don't want to lose that endorsement, man. They don't want to lose that connection. They think that maybe they'll get it, and some people have gotten jobs there, which doesn't seem like that might be a good thing now. But like, you know, people will be afraid to say anything. They don't want to dissent because, you know, they'll not get invited to BlizzCon and get to do a Q&A, or they won't get an opportunity to do an interview. It's like, dude, I don't ever want to be that. Like, dude, it's never ever gonna happen. Like, I don't care about interviews and whatnot. Like, sure, would it be cool? I guess. I'm not really an interviewer. Does it mean, like, would it mean that I don't get a beta invite? Maybe. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, like, for me, what's most important is being honest. This is how I feel. Sometimes I'm not going to like what you have to do, what you're doing. Other times I'm going to praise you, but ultimately I'm going to speak what I think. And a lot of times that voice, that, like, I'm going to say what a lot of other people want to say, and maybe they don't have the ability or the voice to do it, but I'll be that voice and I'll say what I think, and it's worked. And I'd rather, at the end of the day, I'd rather be, you know, like, you know, when I it's no different than this. Like, this, what am I doing? I'm not going in here. Or do we? Whoa, hello there, Mr. Elemental. I guess we are supposed to go in here. I don't even remember this. But, like, you know, I'm always going to speak, like, this is how I feel. Am I right? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not. Maybe you disagree. Maybe a lot of people disagree and they don't like what I have to say. That's fine. But at least you're always going to, you know, you're going to get my opinion. And maybe sometimes I'll learn a thing or two. You know, I'll see a different perspective, like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then maybe my opinion will change. But I'd rather be honest about how I feel, you know, and learn, and, or at the very least say what needs to be said, you know, or then, you know, like, buying into some nonsense and, you know, the common word. I'm not going to even do that quest because it's not worth it. You know, as the kids say these days, bend the knee, so to speak, you know, to appease, you know, a company that will probably never, you know, it won't be worth it. You know, it's like, you know, I'm not going to go as far as to say, like, oh, sell out, you know, sell your soul to the man. Like, no, it's nothing like that. But it's certainly like, you know, I don't like a lot of what I see from the company. And I've said that more and more lately. You know, I love the games. I love Overwatch. I love Diablo. I love WoW. As IPs, I would like to see them treated well. And I think that the best way to ensure that is to be honest and say what I think. Observe, you know, make observations. You know what I mean? So on a level of, like, how they treat their employees, it's very in line with what I see from the company, and it's unfortunate, and I don't think it's good, and I think that it reflects a lot of times on their products. You know, so, like, that's, I don't know, just a random topic. Again, like, these, you know, hey, you know, feel free to comment, you know, about what you think about Blizzard, how they conduct their business. You know, where do you stand on that topic? Again, like, I obviously, you know, I'm on the side of the workers. You know, I think that they should be treated fairly, and if they're not, I think they should find a company or a place to work that will treat them fairly. But we are moving into the bees now, which is exciting because I'm going to tame a bee. So we will do that on the next one, and I really enjoyed this conversation. I hope that you guys will, you know, again, hopefully I don't upset anybody. I'm just giving my honest opinion. I'd love to hear yours. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know by clicking that like button, and feel free to share it with your friends so they can enjoy it as well. Don't forget, you can subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to be notified as soon as new videos are posted. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and if you'd like, you can support this channel on Patreon. Links to all of this can be found in the description below. This is Kephas. Until next time.